Agite Woch, here we are, Motzei Shabbos, Selichos. It's a few days before we stand Yom Hadin Hagadol V'Hanoira. Somebody once told me they were planning a chasana and they needed certain help with various stages of the chasana throughout the night to make sure that everything would run smoothly. And there was a young fellow, somebody that needed a little bit of chizzuk, who offered some help to the Baal Simcha. And he said, maybe I can help you and perhaps I could do something for the chasana. What do you need? What can I do? So the fellow thought, I don't know if this guy is so responsible, but you know what? We'll give him a chance. We'll help him, give him a chizzuk. Told him, sure, I want you to arrange towards the end of the evening, having a mitzvah dance, organize the chairs, organize various things to make sure everything runs smoothly. The Bacha was there by the chasana, enjoyed a few rounds at the bar, and then by the time mitzvah dance came at the end of the night, the end of the chasana, he was completely gone, all flying all over the place, had no idea what was flying, and nothing was sorted out in the way that it was meant to be sorted. Shoin, the chasna went on, the mitzvah dance was gavaldik. The next day, this Bacha knocks on the Baal Simcha's door, and he says, excuse me, I'd like to be paid for what I did. The Baal Simcha looked at him and said, be paid for what you did? What did you do? You didn't do anything, you weren't even there. You had no shaykhs. Avada was a true story. But so often it's a mashal to our own lives. It's a mashal to our own lives. It's something that we're going to mention, Be'ez Hashem. Two ideas that I'd like to share with the Olam. Perhaps we'll do some nigunim in the middle. But two specific ideas based on this thing. That sometimes we get so lost. And sometimes we get so drunk with the world that we don't really know what's going on. But yet comes Rosh Hashanah. And we want to be paid. And we want a good year. We want a year of chayim, of bracha and hatzlacha, parnasa, and health and happiness and Torah and shidduchim and children and everything. And the Rebbeinu Shalom says, well, where were you? What happened the whole year? So Rabbi said, here we are. A few days before Yom Hadin Hagadol V'Hanoira. And in a few minutes, we're going to start saying Selichos. And we're going to be saying Selichos in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom, and as the Selicha tells us very clearly that we daven like in Oni in front of Avinu Shebashamayim, and we ask and we beg the Rebbeinu Shalom to accept our tshuva, to accept our tefillas. And it's very interesting, I'd like to point out how we start the Selichos. We start the Selichos with one of the following words: Loi b'chesed v'loi b'masim bonu lefanecha kidalim roshim davaknu d'loisecha. We're coming to you, we're coming in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom with Emes Adin. We're embarrassed. We have no chesed. We have no maaseh. We're poor people. We have nothing to show for ourselves. And we ask, Reika mal tashivenu ki ato shomei tefillah. Don't turn us away empty-handed. You are the one that hears all our tefillahs. So interesting. Because Selichos, after all, we would have thought, and as I'm going to share with the Olam tonight, perhaps it's not what we thought. Selichos is meant to be about tshuva. We're meant to be doing tshuva, but we don't even mention that we're full of averos. What are we mentioning? We've got no chesed, we've got no maaseh, we have nothing to show for ourselves. But we don't say that we're full of averos. True, at the end of Selichos we mention, like agav, leman shemcha Hashem, v'salachto la'avoinenu ki ravu. Towards the end of the Selichos we mention there's averos, okay? Why don't we mention in the beginning? Rebbeinu Shalom, we're coming in front of you. No chesed, no masim, and plenty of averos. We don't say a word. We just said loy b'chesed v'loy b'masim. I'd like to read to the Olam a Mordik Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes is in Shabbos Shuvah Tov Reish Nun Aleph. Beautiful idea that he says that I'd like to share with the Olam. And I'll read you some of the words that the Sfas Emes says. And he writes, and perhaps through this Sfas Emes we can answer our kasha. Ki hine ikar hatshuva hu letakein hashlichus shenishtalech ha'odom la'olam hazeh The entire purpose of tshuva is to fix the mission of which you are sent down to this world, down over here, to perform. Every single one of us is on a mission. We have what to accomplish. Sukdas Vasemes, the Ikket Tshuva, is for a person to fix that which he was sent down to the world to do, which perhaps he's not doing at this moment of time. And the Svasemes goes on to explain some of the psukim in Yeshaya Perek Nun Hey, and we say it every tainis, and he says like this. I quote you some of the lashon of the pasuk in Yeshaya. Dirshu Hashem b'imotzai. These are the times seeking out Hashem. Yomim Narayim. This is specifically these days. Ki ka'asher yerid hageshem v'asheleg min hashamayim v'chulei. Ki im osa es asher chofatzti v'hitzliach asher shelachtiv. Zug de Svas Emes. What does that mean? Zug de Svas Emes. Why is it that it's saying you're seeking out Hashem, we're searching for the Rabbeinu Shalom? What's the moshel of the rain and the snow coming down? Explains the Sfas Emes that neshama, every single one of us has inside us, was sent down to the world for a specific mission. Just like, this explains the Sfas Emes, Pshat in the Psukim in Yeshaya, just like when rain or snow falls, it falls with a specific mission, and it drops exactly where it's meant to drop. So too, every neshama in this world was sent down for a specific mission, to fulfill the mission in this world. These are the words of the Sfas Emes. These are the words, and hidden within the words of the Sfas Emes is such an incredible insight into our avodah in this world and our avodah at this time, Yomim Noraim. Specifically, with what we're meant to be thinking of, a Yemei Slichas. The Chofetz Chaim has a very similar idea. Listen to this vov of the Chofetz Chaim. The Chofetz Chaim brings a posuk in Tehillim. The Tehillim is a perek Tehillim that we say on Rosh Hashanah by night, at the end of Mariv, right after Shemona Esra. We say Kapitel Chof Daled, LeDavid Mizmar. And what do we say in the middle of this Tehillim? We say Umi Yale Bahar Hashem Niki Chapayim B'Valevov Asher Lo Nosa Lashov Nafshi, which means one with clean hands and a pure heart, who has not sworn in vain by my soul and has not sworn deceitfully. Asks the Chofetz Chaim, what's pshat in David HaMelech? What's the pshat in this pasuk in Tehillim? Once it said Neki Chapayim Avar Levov, what's the additional Shaloi Nashov Nafshi? Says the Chofetz Chaim on Murdik Moshel. He says, imagine if you have a Yid who's desperately trying to make ends meet. He wants to make a parnasa. It's just not working. It's just not going. But he found a business, and perhaps through this business he'll be able to make a parnasa. So he finds a fellow, a wealthy guy, a generous guy, and he says, listen, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do. Please, lend me the money. I'll be able to make money, I'll be able to support my family, it's going to be great. The guy thinks about it, he says, listen, it's a lot of money, it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do it. And he's matriach himself, finds the money, he gives over the money to this Yid. A year later, when the loan is meant to be repaid, the Yid returns the money to the lender, but it's exactly the same money, it's the same notes, in the same form, in the same envelope. He never touched it the whole time. The lender was furious. Do you know how hard it was for me to work hard to get you that money? You did nothing with it. I wanted you to do something. I wanted you to accomplish. Zug the Heilige Chofetz Chaim, Schussen Yugen Alayni. Zug the Chofetz Chaim. Your neshama came down. The Rabbeinu Shalom Kaviyachol lent us our neshama to come down to this world to do a mission. And sometimes we get lost, we get busy, we get distracted by all sorts of things. This neshama came from the highest of all places. Tachas Kisei HaKavod. It's mamash a piece of the Rabbeinu Shalom. And it's come down for a purpose. What do we do with it? Did we utilize it? Are we going to give it back in the same way we got it? or chas v'shalom, are we going to give it back even worse? We opened up with the kasha tonight, and we said that we start slichas with loy b'chesed v'loy b'masim. There's no mention of averis. Why not? Because the yemei slichas is a bedika. We're meant to be checking ourselves. That's why we start a minimum of 4 days before Rosh Hashanah. Because we're meant to be checking ourselves before the Yom Adin. When we kavayachal offer ourselves up before Rosh Hashanah, we have to check what? Our shlichas. We have to check if we're doing what we're meant to be doing. Are we doing what we were sent down to the world to do? Because it's on that we're going to be judged on Rosh Hashanah. Zog the Heiliges Vasemes. That's the Ikka Tshuva. And therefore, we're saying to the Rabbeinu Shalom, Loi b'chesed, loi b'masim. We strayed, and Avada included in the straying is Averis, of course. But that the Ikar is that we failed our shlichas. We're kedalim roshim, we're just poor, we're empty, we have nothing to show for ourselves. The mission that you sent us down to do hasn't been accomplished. And we beg, Avinu Shebashamayim, Na'al teshivenu reikom milfanecha, ki ato shemeh tefillah. Rabbeinu Shalom, don't turn us away empty-handed. Because Rabbeinu Shalom, we know that you're waiting for us to fulfill that mission. And we're waiting to return. It's that beautiful neshama. That chelek elakam imal mamish, that beautiful neshama that the Rabbeinu Shalom put in every single one of us is waiting to get connected. It's waiting to get closer. It's yearning for that. And that's what slichas is. And that's what we're about to do. And we say to Rabbeinu Shalom, we failed. We have to admit we were sent on a mission and we didn't accomplish. And it's that we're saying, Loi b'chesed v'loi b'masim. We have nothing to show for ourselves. And when you walk in to slichas and you walk into Rosh Hashanah with this idea that I have nothing, Rabbeinu Shalom, but I want to do it. Now I'm going to accomplish my shlichas. We did so many things we shouldn't have done this year. We looked where we shouldn't have looked at. We said things we shouldn't have done. We did things we shouldn't have done. Leiv Yodea Morris Nafshoy Chazal tell us we all know inside ourselves what we've done. And we all know how much we failed in our mission. But it's okay. Because the Rebbeinu Shalom is waiting for us. And He knows that we're coming back. And Slichas tonight is the beginning of our return back to the Melech Malchei Amlochim and to fulfill our tachlis and our mission on this world.